Welcome back to Young Tripp Reactions. The next video we're going to do is Disabled Man Dies After Father is Taken into Custody by ICE at ICE Check-in. Let's see.
It is important to note that some people in the U.S. legally are getting swept up and put in ICE detention centers. Their families are hoping to reunite with their loved ones, but unfortunately not all are so lucky. And that includes one family in Arlington, Texas. Maher Tarabishi is originally from Jordan and came to the U.S. on a tourist visa. Maher overstayed that visa when it expired in 1994. But in 2008, the U.S. officially allowed him to remain in the country under an order of supervision after doctors said that his son, Wael, would die without him. Wael was severely disabled and was completely dependent on his dad. But last fall, Maher presented himself at a Dallas field office to fulfill the conditions of his supervision order. Only this time, he was arrested and detained by ICE. His family fought to try and reunite father and son, but they were unsuccessful. And then just a few days ago, Wael passed away at just 30 years old, while his father sat in an ICE detention center. And joining me now...
That is so sad. This man has been approved for a very long time. As a person who has vision loss, of being legally blind, of a disability, this is very heartbreaking. Of course, I just have eyesight issues, but there are people out here, and I know people who have more real serious disabilities where they really need someone to take care of them. They can't do a lot of things. I met a lot of people at the school that I went to for vision loss where there are students who they really need, a lot of assistance, maybe help putting their clothes on, help picking out their clothes, because they're more like childlike, need to be told, because they're having fun listening to their music or watching a show, to be told that it's time to eat or when to eat and when to go do certain things and all of that. So to know that you have someone where their dad is the only person that they have, and to know that they've been approved to be able to stay in the country knowing that their son is a legal citizen, for them to be able to take care of their son, and how basically the Trump administration is just saying, oh, we don't care. Send his dad back. We don't care. He'll pass away, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because everybody doesn't want their relative to be put in a like a group type home. They want to be able to take care of their own relatives. And this is very highly, definitely in the Latino Mexican community. So this is definitely heartbreaking. Knowing that this young man was really, really seriously disabled. It's not like he was like legally blind. It wasn't, like my situation. It wasn't like he was just legally deaf. It wasn't like he had a prosthetic leg or something like that. This is a seriously disabled man that really, really needed his father. And because his father was not there, he passed. The Trump administration should be ashamed, and Trump himself should be ashamed. Back to it, y'all.
Shahed Arnott, that is Maher's daughter-in-law. And Shahed, thank you so much for joining us today. And you just learned that Maher is not going to be allowed to attend his son's funeral. What is the family's reaction to get?
That is even more wild. he's not even going to be able to attend his own son's funeral. I don't even have nothing else to say. I think this is probably going to be the last video I'm going to do on reaction videos today. This is something else. Back to it.
That news, and we are so sorry for your loss as well.
First, I'm going to start with thank you so much for having me. Thank you for supporting and sharing my family story. Right now, our life got upside down. Right now, we are in a very difficult situation. We were trying so hard to let him out, to let Maher out, at least to say goodbye to Wa'il before he died, because that's what Wa'il wishes was, to say goodbye to my dad. At least let me see him one more time. At least let me just maybe touch his hand before I die. But we couldn't do that, and they said no. They said no to that. So we tried again. Maybe they will let him out at least to his son's funeral. Well, we also had the news with, no, they're not going to let him out to his son's funeral. We are very upset. We are very sad. Why? For what? What did he do to all of that to happen to him? What did Wa'il do? Wa'il is a U.S. citizen. And he asked for his dad. It was a very simple ask for him. He trusted his country. And he trusted the system. But they failed.
I can tell how hard this is for you to talk about. In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security claimed that Maher belonged to a group called the Palestine Liberation Organization, which the U.S. does designate as a terrorist network. ICE also said it has not received a formal request from anyone to attend funeral services. What is your response to both of those things?
We denied that he's part of PLO or any other part of organization. And his lawyer did request from the ICE agent. He went to the Dallas Field Immigration Center and he spoke to an ICE agent and they responded with a no. He requested to go and at least to say goodbye and to the funeral. And both answer was no. So why are they doing that?
How do you want people to remember Wa'il? And what do you want people to know about Maher?
Wa'il is an angel. Wa'il is an amazing person. With everything Wa'il went through and all the hardship that he had, he always cared about his family. He always made us laugh. Him and his father, it wasn't just a normal relationship between any father and a son. No. He was his best friend. He was his caregiver. He was his dad. He was everything for him. We would wait until watch a movie together and have dinner together. And his favorite channel was Food Network. Wa'il didn't do anything wrong for all of that to happen to him. ICE is responsible of the death of Wa'il Tarabishi. They may not kill him with a bullet, but they killed him inside, mentally.
All right, Shahid Arnott, thank you so much for sharing your story. And again, we are really very, very sorry for your loss.
I just want to ask one thing. This needs to stop, please. Please stop this. How many people need to be killed until this to stop? People, our citizens are dying right now. I don't think this is now. It's a subject about are you a U.S. citizen or not anymore.
Go ahead. Thank you so much. A heartbroken family there.
Say goodbye to your reading glasses, computer glasses, and even your sunglasses. Introducing the last pair of glasses you'll ever need, featuring revolutionary German optical technology.
Y'all, the Trump administration is something else. with all three cases that we all know about now. In this case that I just played, there's no telling how many people really know about it. It's heartbreaking. This man was approved years and years ago due to his disabled son, who obviously couldn't even live without him. He needed serious assistance. We're not talking about no blindness. We're not talking about no deaf. We're not talking about a prosthetic leg. We're not talking about nothing like that. We talking about somebody who, like, needed to be properly taken care of. I don't know what the other relatives were doing. Like, as you see, obviously there's daughter-in-laws and sons and other people. I don't know. Maybe they were working. Maybe they had other stuff to do. But obviously his dad was willing to do everything to take care of him. And the government approved it, and the government allowed it for years. And in the Trump administration's second term, it was, we don't care anymore. This man has been going, doing his check-ins, doing everything he was supposed to do, because he knew if he didn't, he wouldn't be able to be there for his son. He was willing to do anything and everything for his son and try to stay legal with him being in the country. And in the end, the country still failed him and his son. But like I said, I can't even make another reaction video today, because of how touching and how heartbreaking a story like this is. Everybody just pray for the United States of America. Until next time, y'all. Peace.